Intricast.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Welcome to Her Extraordinary Life by Design, where we celebrate women who are shaping their lives one extraordinary day at a time. I'm your host, Leslie Gaudet, self-care coach for women who are ready to make self-care a priority to support them in life and business. Every week, I'll be speaking with inspiring women from various walks of life who will share their personal journeys and will discover how they have fearlessly carved their own paths as business owners, passionately pursuing their dreams and creating a meaningful impact on their communities. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome to Her Extraordinary Life by Design. I'm your host, Leslie Gaudet, and today's episode of Leslie's Corner Monthly Musings, we're going to explore emotional burnout in personal relationships and understanding how emotional overinvestment can lead to emotional depletion, exhaustion, and finally breakdown. My purpose is to help you recognize the signs of each stage and provide practical tips to manage and prevent emotional burnout from happening. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a self-care strategist for female entrepreneurs. I specialize in systems that transform daily stress and constant overwhelm into clarity and calm, while also creating space for personal fulfillment. And today, I want to dive into a piece of the mind-body-soul puzzle, which is the mind, our emotional and mental well-being piece. First, let me give you a little bit of context around why I want to do this episode and my personal experience around emotional burnout. Last September, I lost my youngest brother. Back in September of 2023, I lost my youngest brother. And I found myself trying to be emotionally present for everyone else in my life, my family, my husband, my remaining brother, my mother, most of all. And I was neglecting my own needs. I found that with my mom, she had lost not only her youngest son last year, but also the previous year, she had lost her eldest child, her eldest son, which now leaves just myself and my remaining brother. And so in everything that happened with respect to that, I realized this was obviously something that no parent wants to have to go through, is losing their children, to outlive their children. And so I automatically stepped into being the strong one for her, to support her, to be there for her emotionally. But in that, when I was doing that, I found, with my mom, she's been kind of like a glass half empty type person, very pessimistic my whole life. She's never really looked to the positive of things. And so she's always been looking for something wrong to happen, for something to go wrong. And so I've always had that relationship with my mom. Like I've always known that about her. So again, with that being said, pack that into the same equation as having her to deal with the loss of 2 children within less than a year and me stepping up to support her emotionally, being the strong one. And what that really did, it really kept me from really taking time for myself to process what had happened, to mourn the loss, especially of my youngest brother. I never really got to fully mourn him because as I said, I stepped right into that role of supporting her. And it was difficult. I can say that was really difficult. I didn't realize, for 8 months, I was really pouring everything of me, all of my time and energy into supporting her. Then my youngest brother, my remaining brother, he was also going through some things, having to deal with the loss of 2 brothers, as well as there was other things going on with him. So I was, of course, stepping in to support him, wanting to be there for him. And I had some other personal things going on in my life. And so with all of that being said, it really took a significant toll on my emotional well-being. I really had no boundaries around my time when it came to my personal relationships. I gave my all whenever they needed me. And that led me to really emotionally over-investing my energy. And that eventually led to burnout. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this with you, because I know firsthand what it feels like to be in this emotional state and the challenges that come with it. And so today's episode, I hope, provides you with the information you need to manage your emotional time and energy more efficiently so that you can show up in those moments feeling like yourself, which is so important. So first, let's talk about emotional overinvestment, which is the first stage of burnout. It's really incredibly easy to become emotionally overinvested in our relationships without even realizing it. Because again, if you're a giving person, which I am very much a giving person, as I said, I really put everyone else's needs first. This can really be challenging, especially when you are not taking care of yourself. And so I want to give you some signs to watch for. The first one, feeling drained, where you're constantly feeling tired, you're exhausted, you're not just physically exhausted, but you're emotionally and mentally exhausted. And then the second sign to that would be that you're maybe neglecting your self-care, like you're prioritizing everybody else's needs over your own, and you're neglecting yourself. So all of the things that you had in place for your own self-care, that you took care of yourself, taking time to really fill your cup daily kind of goes to the wayside because you're putting that person or those people's needs above your own. Then there's increased irritability, becoming more irritable or sensitive to things that happen, things that are said that might not have bothered you in the past, but because you're in this place, this state of mind, that you become more sensitive to the way people are speaking to you or the things that are happening around you. The fourth one is emotional numbness, where you maybe feel detached. So this might become such a thing for you where you're not feeling so good about yourself because you're starting to feel that draining sense that, feeling tired and exhausted, that you kind of become really numb to your feelings. You become numb to other people's feelings. And emotionally numb to it. And I found myself doing that. And then the fifth one is difficulty setting those boundaries, especially with other people around your time and energy. You struggle to say no. And so, like I said, it took such an emotional toll on my well-being because I actually didn't realize that I wasn't setting boundaries around my time and energy that I was expending. I wasn't allowing myself to, with my mom, especially with her negativity around other in life in general, I was allowing not only that, but her feelings around things. And I would allow that to stick to me as if it was a burden that I needed to carry. And I found that it was just too much. Now, the second stage of emotional burnout is emotional depletion. This stage often follows the overinvestment where it's feeling completely worn out. Some common signs and symptoms are lack of motivation, where you're struggling to find energy or desire to do activities that you once enjoyed. You might have trouble sleeping, either insomnia or it's disrupted, where you're waking up because you're stressed. Increased irritability, where you become easily annoyed or frustrated by minor things that, again, in the past may not have bothered you or you were able to work through really quickly. But now you've become really super irritated. And if you have children or you're married or you have a significant other, this is where it's really important that you start paying attention to this because you could become easily annoyed and frustrated by minor things that they do or say that really typically wouldn't bother you. And this can lead to misunderstanding. It could lead to a disconnect in the bond that you're building with your loved ones. And so it's really important to pay attention to that. Again, the emotional disconnection where you're feeling detached from your feelings or from or others' feelings because you just can't do it anymore. You just don't feel like you just don't care. Like you get to that place where you just don't care. And then the physical fatigue where you're feeling sluggish and finding even routine tasks arduous. So again, I found myself finding myself constantly tired, irritable, disconnected from the emotions of the people in my life, especially, I'm married now over 28 years. And I found that I was becoming disconnected from the emotions from my relationship. And despite I was trying to keep it together for everyone else, I was truly running on empty. And I didn't realize just how bad it was. And so it's really important, why I'm so passionate about bringing this to you, because I really, truly lived this experience recently and it wasn't fun by any means at all. I was looking for arguments, isolating myself from other people because I just didn't want to talk to anyone. And I was becoming irritated and resentful around things that really wouldn't bother me before. So that's why, again, one of the reasons why I'm bringing this to you today. Now, the third stage is emotional exhaustion. It's a more severe stage where the emotional and physical impacts become more pronounced. So you're persistently tired. both physically and emotionally. Your patience is wearing really thin. I know patience is not always an easy virtue to come by, but it becomes even more distant. You're frequently annoyed. You have low energy, a lack of desire to engage in activities that might have brought you joy, but you just don't feel like it. You don't have the energy. Your sleeping is even more disrupted, and you have difficulty with routine tasks. Your sluggishness increases, and the difficulty with your frequent tasks really becomes even more pronounced. I really did feel that it was overwhelming at this stage because I started to feel that I was unable to cope with my everyday stress. And even the most small task felt huge. It felt monumental. And I didn't know how to get out of it. I didn't even realize that I was in an emotional burnout phase. This only became more clear to me as I did the reflecting on what was going on in my life. And then I realized, oh, this is what's happening. But I really didn't find that out until I really hit the last stage of burnout, which is emotional breakdown. This is where I started to have those intense highs and lows without clear reason. Like my mood swings were really severe. One day I was on a high, next minute I was on a low, not understanding the why behind it. Things that were manageable for me now became overwhelming, and I couldn't even bring myself to do them. I felt a sense of hopelessness, and I really started to have difficulty seeing positive outcomes. I've always been a glass half full person, always been optimistic. But in this instance, when I really hit my rock bottom moment, I really felt like I couldn't see a way out, that it didn't feel like there was anything positive that could come from this. I didn't really have frequent crying spells, but this could be a sign or a symptom of emotional breakdown. For me, what happened was I wasn't able to cry even if I wanted to. I tried, but I was unable to cry. It just felt like I was just so emotionally, I guess the word is numb. That's how I felt, that I couldn't even bring myself to cry. And then, of course, there's the possibility of an emotional breakdown. I did find that I started to feel like I was having a breakdown. I experienced finding it hard to cope with minor stressors, a constant sense of hopelessness. But what really was really great for me is acknowledging my emotional state, especially coming clean to my husband and other people in my life who are in my inner circle. I truly believe community is so important. And seeking that support helped me twofold. One, it allowed others to understand what I was going through so that they then could understand how to support me. I had to actually tell them. I couldn't just keep it inside because no one, of course, is in your head with you. So I had to really share. And two, it allowed me to take that time that I needed to recover and rebuild my emotional strength. I also learned the importance of knowing myself, the type of person that I am, the giving person that I am, and realizing that in this knowing, that was the first step to me making sure that I had boundaries in place around my time and my energy, so that not only could I support the people in my life that needed my support, but also knowing that I didn't have to allow their emotions to become a burden that I carried, and also to really make sure that I was filling my cup daily, taking care of me the best that I can so that I can show up in those spaces. I truly believe that self-care is the lifeblood to our success in life and business, because when you take care of yourself really well, you get the best of you, and so does everyone else in your life and everything that you do. So I want to leave you with some practical tips to manage emotional burnout. The first one is setting boundaries around your time. Protecting your time and energy by setting clear boundaries and how much time and energy you're willing to give before taking back time for yourself to recharge is really crucial for your emotional and mental health. So start by using I statements to communicate your needs, such as I need some quiet time to recharge, and schedule in those regular self-time breaks, those self-care times in your calendar. I feel like self-care should go on your calendar first, and then everything else can be put in there after, because there's only one of you and you need to take care of yourself so that you can show up in all of the other responsibilities that you have. You might have that friend who calls you for support around the same problem, right? And it feels like there's very little intention of them to want to resolve it. They stay stuck in that loop. So in those instances, you might say, I hear you. I really want to be able to support you, but I don't know how to. And also, I'm really needing some some time for myself to recharge my batteries as I've been on the go. I've been go, 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 and I'm feeling that I need that time for myself. And so right now, I don't feel like I'm at my best to support you in this. So maybe we can table it for another time. It might feel uncomfortable at first to say, but you also have to understand that sometimes you have to be stern and protective of your time and your energy, or you'll find yourself always serving from an empty cup and end up like I did in emotional burnout. I believe that using the I statement allows others to understand that it's not about them, that it's about you and you're needing time to recharge your batteries. Now, the second one is managing your energy and motivation. First, you're going to identify your peak energy times. I think it's important to plan your most important tasks during your peak energy times. I actually did a video on my YouTube channel about knowing whether you're a sprinter or a marathoner and knowing your energy. So first, let me define what it means to be a sprinter versus a marathoner in terms of energy management. Sprinters are individuals who can work intensely in short bursts. That's who I am. I'm a sprinter. They need frequent breaks to recharge their energy. But marathoners, on the other hand, can sustain their focus for longer periods before needing a break. So understanding whether you're a sprinter or a marathoner can really help you to optimize your productivity and well-being, helping you to determine when your peak energy times are and aligning your days around those times, your tasks around those times. In addition, if you're a sprinter, scheduling short, intense work sessions followed by longer breaks can help maintain high productivity. Marathoners might benefit from longer work periods with fewer but strategically placed breaks. And they may only need to take a break for a shorter amount of time, like 15-minute breaks. Maybe they go for 90 minutes and they only need 15 minutes, more so than someone like myself who's a sprinter who may need a longer amount of time, like a 30-minute break. I've found that by incorporating a few more longer breaks in my day has helped me manage my energy, my time more efficiently. And I've also found that along with me being a sprinter, my peak energy times are the morning and then later in the afternoon. So it's really important to understand that and to know that I understand too that sometimes we're not always going to have our calendar work out to where those things that are we need our peak energy times to book them. We're not always going to have that flexibility. So with that being said, really making sure that you have breaks throughout your day to really support you so that you are making sure you're taking care of your energy, replenishing it, so you have that energy to sustain you throughout your day. So definitely go check out my YouTube video around mastering your energy. Are you a sprinter or a marathoner? As I do go deeper into it. The second is break your tasks into smaller steps. It can make them feel more achievable when you break them into smaller steps, right? You're not feeling like overwhelmed at how big they are. And the third is use timing techniques to track your time, ensuring that you're incorporating breaks into your daily routine. One you can use is the Pomodoro technique, which is where you work for 25 minutes, then you take a 5-minute break and you repeat this pattern for about 4 times. And at the 4th time, you'll take a longer break. Being intentional about how you incorporate breaks will help you maintain focus, replenish your energy, and prevent burnout. Now, number 3 is building a strong support network. Building and nurturing meaningful relationships with people who uplift and support you is really important. I feel like community is so important because these are the people that are going to support you when you are at those low points in your life, when you do need guidance or advice or just someone to listen. Cultivating meaningful relationships is really important. So if you have that circle of people in your life that you can really build and nurture those relationships with, I encourage you to do that. Also being reciprocating that you're doing that as well. Seeking help when you need it is important, like reaching out to your trusted friends, your family members, even a mental professional when you're struggling to get that help so that you don't feel like you're on an island all by yourself alone, going through something and feeling like there's no hope. Again, join support groups. And in these groups, these are where you can share your experiences and gain understanding from other people who may be facing similar challenges as yourself. So again, like that feeling of connection, of community, of belonging. Be open and honest. Share your true feelings with your support network. It's so important to share what you're really going through, to share your true feelings, to let them know also how you want to be supported, whether that's through advice, to just be guided, to be just to have someone to listen to you. It's really important so they know how to support you. And then again, just to reiterate, offering that support in return so that you strengthen your support network by you being there for them as they are for you. So I also want to leave you with some questions to reflect on your experiences around each stage of emotional burnout. These questions are meant to help you to become intentional around paying attention to taking care of yourself and learning to be more self-aware of knowing yourself, which is knowing the type of person you are. Like, are you a giving person? Are you a yes person? Do you find it hard to say no? Are you someone who can be counted on to never say no? These are important to know about yourself, to really think about, because the person that you are and how you manage your time and energy is really going to be crucial in helping you to manage your time and energy more efficiently so that you steer clear of emotional burnout. So here are the reflective questions. I'm going to go through each stage of burnout. So the first stage is emotional overinvestment, and these are the questions. Have you found yourself prioritizing others' needs over your own? How has this impacted your emotional well-being? In what ways has overinvesting emotionally in your relationships caused misunderstandings or tension with your loved ones? Again, when you are giving of your time, it could be to somebody that's not directly in your family unit, and you're both invested emotionally with that person. That can also cause tension within your family dynamic because you're giving your all to someone else and you're getting drained, and then you're snapping, or you're irritable, or you're disconnected, or you're not engaging as much with your own family unit, your loved ones, which can lead to misunderstanding. And they don't understand what's going on, because if you're not sharing with them, they're not going to understand. So it's really important to really think about these questions as you go through each. You may want to come back to this time in the episode to write these questions down, but definitely think about, or even pause the podcast to really reflect on each series of questions before moving on. So the second stage of emotional burnout is emotional depletion. And the questions for this area is, do you often feel drained or too exhausted to engage with your children or your spouse? How has this affected your bond with them? What are some signs that indicate you're reaching a point of emotional depletion in your relationships? The third stage of emotional burnout is emotional exhaustion. These are the questions. Have you noticed a lack of interest in activities you once enjoyed with your family and friends? How has this detachment or lack of engagement impacted your relationships? What strategies can you implement to manage the stress that you're going through and avoid emotional exhaustion in your daily interactions? And then the final stage is emotional breakdown. Have you experienced severe mood swings or frequent breakdowns, crying episodes? How have these episodes affected your relationships and your ability to connect with others? And then what steps can you take to rebuild your emotional strength and prevent reaching a state of emotional breakdown again? Again, I'm speaking from experience. I know what it feels like to go through each stage. As I took time to reflect on it, I started to understand more. This is the person I am, a very giving person. Not necessarily do I have a hard time saying no. I used to, but I learned that protecting my time was crucial. My time and my energy was very important, so that I didn't overextend myself, so that I wasn't getting to that emotional exhaustion, even professional burnout, learning to say no to things and allowing myself to say yes to the right things that go on my calendar. So I just wanted to bring these questions to you so that you can start really thinking about where you're at, especially if you're in this phase of burnout. And maybe you didn't realize that this is the burnout phase that you're going through. And maybe you were equating your burnout to burnout with respect to work. So I want you to take some time to think about the questions and how they apply to you, to your relationships, how you show up in your relationships. Because when you reflect on the type of person you are, and then how you show up in your personal relationships, it's going to help you identify areas where you might need to make adjustments to better manage your time and energy and support your emotional well-being more efficiently. Now, before I go, I just wanted to share with you that I am offering something special. It's my Holistic Balance and Success Audit. This audit will give you a comprehensive look at your current self-care practices and provide actionable insights tailored specifically for you. So what you'll get is a detailed self-care audit, a video audit highlighting your strengths, your gaps and areas for improvement. You'll get insights into how you can manage your time effectively so that you can gain control over your schedule, reduce stress, and create harmony between your personal and professional responsibilities. We'll uncover and address hidden challenges that may be hindering your well-being, productivity, and overall growth. And again, you'll receive a detailed video and written report with insights and actionable steps to help you feel clear, refocused, re-energized, and inspired to take your life to the next level. So what's amazing is that you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to get this. The price is $50 for you to get your personalized self-care audit. And I'm only accepting 10 people to do this for. So if you're interested in getting yours, send me a message saying you're interested, and I'll send you the link to get started, and do it soon so that you don't miss out. One of my clients, Liz, told me this after working with me in one of my coaching programs. I've always felt like it's my responsibility to ensure everyone around me is happy, she says. So because I wasn't achieving much in this area, it made me feel depressed. That fire that I once had inside of me was extinguished, and no matter how much I tried to reignite it, it just seemed close to impossible. I was always too tired. And my day-to-day was late nights, late dinners, and sleeping late, and a very long to-do list, which would just weigh me down. With Leslie's patience and through her guidance, I've been able to find myself again. I definitely feel healthier. I feel that the burden that was sitting heavily inside of me is much lighter now. I feel positive vibes flowing within me and my surroundings, and I'm loving it. Leslie has helped me to be better organized, to believe in myself more, and to achieve my set goals. Wadzi, another client, told me this. Leslie, I want you to know that you've inspired me, encouraged, and held my hand every step of the way as I have transformed into a phenomenal brand new me. To now be able to look at every situation in the eye and see it for what it really is, and be able to see the root of it, feel the emotion around the situation, embrace the emotion and release it, and act accordingly without hurting myself or those around me, is the most brilliant thing that has happened for my marriage and relationships going forward. Today, I stand more self-confident, motivated, encouraged, calm, self-aware of mind, body, and spirit, enabling me to be the best version of myself. You know, it really is an incredible thing when you can feel like yourself, where you feel energized and motivated, where you don't feel like life's weighing you down, and that you have practices in place that support your well-being every single day. For me, it was really such a joy to receive these testimonials from Liz and Wadzi, because it really was such a beautiful transformation that I got to watch through the lens of me, looking through the lens of my own eyes to see how they were able to transform their lives and be able to feel better about themselves. Truly to be able to step into that version of yourself where you feel that motivation and energy, you feel like you really feel good about your life. I really feel like that is just such an important way to actually move into quality of life. So again, if that's you and you want your holistic balance and success audit, send me a message and I'll send you the link to get yours now. Remember, prioritizing you, filling your cup daily, making self-care a non-negotiable is not selfish. It's necessary for quality of life. Thank you again for spending time with me today. I truly hope that you've learned something valuable along the way, and that by reflecting and learning more about yourself, you will have better and healthier relationships, not only with others, but also with yourself. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep building your extraordinary life one day at a time. Thank you for joining me on Her Extraordinary Life by Design. I hope you've been inspired and empowered by the incredible stories shared on this show. If you enjoyed this episode and the conversations we've had, I would greatly appreciate if you could take a moment to leave a review. Your feedback and support mean the world to me, and it will help others discover the podcast and join our empowering community. Remember to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Together, we can continue to learn from these amazing women, uncover their extraordinary journeys, and be motivated to create our own lives by design. Thank you again for tuning in. Until next time, stay empowered and keep shaping your extraordinary life one day at a time.
For those of you who dream of a world where music and podcasts live together in perfect harmony. Now, for the first time, Electricast gives you a magical compilation, Pod Till You Drop, Volume 1, where we give you the best in tunes and the best in podcasts. Feast your ears and hear the culture. Available now wherever you listen to music. Electricast.
Hi everyone, I'm Geraldine Glass, a leader in the field of music as medicine, and I'm excited to share with you my newest release of healing sound, Pentatonic Visions, with Chris Scholler and Electricast Records. Immerse yourself in ethereal realms where the harmonies of nature, tribal rhythms, and soundscapes blend with the crystal singing bowls. It's out now, streaming on all platforms.
Electricast.